Hello, Professor. This video is a round analysis report of TSMC. The members of our group include Tang Xu, Wei Baorui, Tang Yiming, and Qi Hongze. The context is include company background and the two angles of analysis, and the strategy action plan and the conclusion. Now I will present the background of TSMC. The full name of TSMC is Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. Its industry is semiconductors. It's located at Hsinchu Science Park, Taiwan. Back in 1987, when Chang Chong-mo started TSMC, people were not too excited about it, but Chang had a version of major business opportunity. See, back then, big shots like Intel and Samsung were doing it all, sending their own chips and making them in their own factories. However, Chang had a different idea. He introduced the foundry model, and he said, "My company won't make our own stuff, we will make stuff of other companies." Now, this is unheard because there were no independent company at this industry. Okay, let's see the business model and the customer space. TSMC was the first to introduce the designated IC foundry model, and this model manufacturers of different customers who created and sent their own products in 2022. It worked with 500 customers and produced 12,000 products of various use in different markets. TSMC's customers come from industry like high performers, computing, smartphones, IoT, motivated, and digital customers, electronics. By serving a wide range of industry, it is become an important player in this industry. And let's look at these two pictures, both of which are the results of expand of TSMC in the recent years. The first picture is started at the construction as its first fab in Arizona, USA, which is expand to commercial production of N4 process technology in 2024, and industry. And in addition of the Arizona fab, it also announced the conduction of the second fab in Kumamoto in Japan, and which is scheduled to begin 3nm process technology in 2026. Okay, my part is finished then.
Thank you, my teammate. So I will present my part. So this part is focused on the company external environment analyze. I will use opportunities and threats in SWOT analyze to analyze external environment and polar five forces to analyze industrial competition. During the COVID-19, people work and study at home, greatly increasing their use and reliance on electronic device, chips. The core components are in short supply. Therefore, TSMC has a strong competitive advantage and market dominance under the impact of pandemic, which is a good opportunity to increase market share and improve its product technology and competitiveness. This is COVID-19, how to impact the company. It also creates opportunities for the company in a way. Other opportunity is during COVID-19. Some new customer come from the online platform. TSMC nor has access to new sales channel. The web-based foundry service offered by TSMC enable a more active participation in design, engineering, and logistics. Designers can build bespoke reports using foundry online service and have access to crucial data. While the pandemic presents opportunities for companies, it also presents potential threats. The sudden increase in demand for chips has led to manufacturing companies entering the market, as well as existing companies develop chip making units, which could hit TSMC's market share and sales. Then there are other companies and countries trying to attract TSMC's high-tech talent to change the company. This is a potential threat to the companies. Next part is Porter's five forces. This diagram is overview for industry. The red arrow representing influencing strength in high. Green arrow is low. Yellow arrow is express expense. Let me share some performance YS results. New entrants threats in the industry is high because first, existing regulations support the entry of new players. Second, initial capital outlay is substantial. Third, for new players create distribution network is simple. Threat of its existing substantial expense. When influence strength is high, the performance is showing first. There is a cheaper alternative accessible from a different industry. Second, the quality and performance of a substitute product are equal to or even better than those of TSMC's product. When its low is showing, first, the expense of moving to replacement product is substantial. Second, a substitute product cannot provide the same utility to customers. Bargaining power of buyers is high because, first, their negotiation strength against the TSMCs is increased by a more concentrated customer base. Second, in contrast to a large number of suppliers, business organizations, a small number of buyers will likewise have a strong purchasing power. Third, low switching costs, both financially and psychologically, can provide buyers more negotiation power. For bargaining power of suppliers still expands when influence strength is high. It will happen. First, the supplier stands against TSMC. It strengthens when there are few suppliers and a significant demand for the goods they are offering. Second, the forward integrating of suppliers damages TSMC's position because they now face competition in that market. Last but not least, the last force is competition in the industry. This is low influence strength on account of first, consumers have high psychological and economic switching costs. Second, there are not many competitors in the market. Third, the sector is expanding quickly.
Thank you to my teammate. Today, I would like to present about the internal environment analyst of TSMC. We use strengths and weakness analyst of the SWOT model. Let's start by looking at the strengths. Firstly, TSMC is known for its leading technology. For the past decade, TSMC has maintained its position as a leader in the chip manufacturing industry, particularly in advanced processes such as 7 nanometers and 5 nanometers. In fact, TSMC was the first company in the world to achieve mass production of 5 nanometer chips. Secondly, TSMC has a significant customer advantage. It serves as a key supplier to renowned global semiconductor manufacturers, including Apple, Qualcomm, and Intel. The strong and stable relationships with these clients, coupled with the increasing demand for chips, give TSMC an edge in the market competition. TSMC also possesses an expanded production capacity. At TSMC's financial report in 2021, its monthly production capacity was 2.8 million 8-inch wafers and 13 million 12-inch wafers. By the end of 2022, TSMC's capacity is expected to increase by 10%, reaching 3.08 million 8-inch wafers and 14.3 million 12-inch wafers. This ample production capacity ensures that TSMC can meet market demand even when other regions face disruption due to factors like the COVID-19 pandemic, allowing the company to earn additional profit from the rising chip price caused by logistics and transportation shortage. Furthermore, TSMC benefits from the excellent management. The founder Maurice Chang and the management have dedicated their life to developing TSMC and have established it as the industry leader with the largest market share. They have a clear strategy plan, maintain a strong financial position for the company, and continuously focus on R&D for advanced processes to sustain TSMC's leadership in the industry. Now, let's move on to the weakness. The first weakness is supplier risk. TSMC rely on a single supplier for many raw materials and key equipment required for the chip manufacturing, such as Applied Materials and Intel in the United States. Any problem with this supplier could directly impact TSMC's production capacity and product quality. Another weakness lies in external pattern authorization. TSMC relies on companies like Applied Materials, Tokyo Electron, and ASML, which provide pattern authorization for TSMC to produce high-quality semiconductor chips. If these companies refuse to provide the necessary authorization, it could have devastating effect on TSMC. Thus, maintaining technological independence is crucial for the company. Lastly, TSMC faced the challenge related to engineer shortage. The complexity of the chip manufacturing process and extensive training required for the engineers pose difficulties in recruitment and training, especially for the production line workers. This requires significant time and resource.
Okay, thank you, my teammate. So in previous part, we know the historical of the company and also use the analysis tools to analyze the external and internal for the TSMC. So in this session, I will propose some recommendation to some of the problem before we talking about the mention above. So first we recommend the company to build factories in rural area because can avoid the impact and influence on chips production when emergency coming again. So second is the maintains technological leadership. So for this one, company needs to continuous invest in R&D and technological innovation. Number three is the recommend three is the strength engineers training. So this one company need to attend industry talents from all over the world and qualitative excellent engineers who agree with the company's values after long-term training. So last but not least is the strength supplier channel management. So final TSMC needs to strengthen supplier channel management to ensure the quality, safety, and reliability of the suppliers. So this is the last part for the presentation. So we do some conclusion for the whole presentation. So first, before we analyze the company for the internal environment and external environment, we studied the company history, business model, customer base, and the future expansion plan. So we also use the opportunities and the trades for analysis, for SWOT analysis to analyze the company's external part. So we also use the 5 Porter's force analysis to analyze the competition in the industry. So last analysis is we use the strengths and the weakness for the SWOT analysis to analyze the company's internal environment. After all the analysis, we also find some problem and give some recommendation. So here is the 4 for for recommendation for the previous part I focusing about. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your listening. That's all.